Hello there everybody. Today I'll be showing you some matrix multiplication. Now I noticed that when I did the video on matrices, I actually skipped this very important concept. So before you watch my other matrix videos, you should probably watch this one first. So we're going to start off with a 1 by 1 matrix, just to make it start off very simple. We're going to have the number 2. Okay, we're going to do 2 times 2. We're going to put it into matrix format, and obviously the answer for that is 4. And when we do matrix multiplication, we should look at the number, and we say this is 1 by 1. The second one is actually a 1 by 1. Now the funny thing about matrix multiplication is that if you look at the inside two numbers and they're the same, that means you can multiply them. So we have a 1 by 1 times a 1 by 1, and that gives us 4. Okay, let's make things a bit more interesting. Let's try 5, 4 times 3, 2. Okay, so the way you determine the dimensions of a matrix, first you see the number of rows. So we've got 2 rows in the first one, and it's 1 column. If remember, rows go like this, and columns go like this. Okay, so 5, 4 is a 2 by 1 matrix. Then for the next one, we see it's 1 row and 2 columns, so it's a 1 by 2. And then we look at our trick from before, inside 2 numbers, they're the same, good. That means we can multiply them. So the way we do it is actually, let me just get that back. I forgot to mention something. You can also look at the outer numbers, and the outer numbers tell you the dimensions of the new matrix you're going to create. So we have a 2 by 2. So the answer to this matrix will be a 2 by 2. And so what we do is we do 5 times 3, which is 15. And that's in the top left. Then we do 5 times 2, which is 8. Bottom left, which is 4 times 3, which is 12. And then 4 times 2, which is 8. Oh, I realized I made a mistake. Top right is 10, not 8, because 5 times 2 is 10. It's a bad mistake. There we have it. Our matrix, which is a 2 by 2, 15, 10, 12, 8. Okay. Next example. Let's look at this. 1, 2 times 1, 2, 3. So we do our trick, which we learned before. We see that this is a 2 by 1. Oops, 2 by 1. And this is a 3 by 1. Now we look at the inside two numbers, 1 and 3. Are they the same? No. That means this matrix cannot be multiplied. Very simple. Yeah, so now let's do an actual multiplication. Let's look at multiplying 2 by 2s. So let's do A, B, C, D. Oops, times E, F. Oh, what have I done? Let's bring that all back. There we go. Times E, F, G, H. Now, this looks pretty straightforward. You probably think A times E, then B times F, then C times G, then D times H. But that's not how you do matrix multiplication. You look at the first row, and then you look at the first column of the second matrix. So it's going to be, the answer to this is going to be AE plus BG, and that's going to be in the top left. Top right is going to be AF plus BH. Bottom left is going to be CE plus DG, and bottom right is going to be CF plus DH. Now this looks very nasty, and it is quite hard to get your head around doing matrix multiplication for 2 by 2s. But if you just think about it in a simple way, it seems very easy. Let's just do a very easy multiplication of 1, 1, 1, 1 times 2, 2, 2, 2. Now, the way I like to think of doing matrix multiplication is that we look at the first row of the first matrix, and we look at the first row of the first, or we look at the first column of the second matrix. So first number is 1, so we do 1 times 2. The second number in our loop is 1, and that's being this 1, and that's being times by this 2. So 1 times 2, and we have to add them. So we get 2 plus 2, which equals 4. Okay. Now if I just make some more space, we look at, to get the top right number, we go back to our top row in the first one, but instead of timesing it by the first column now we're going to times it by the second column. So we get 1 times 2 plus 1 times 2. Same method as before. So 2 plus 2, 4. Okay, well, I can tell you the answer now is going to be 4, 4, 4, 4 because I used simple numbers. But let's just keep going on with the multiplication. Now that we've done the top 2 rows with the top 2 numbers, we don't need to use the top row anymore for our multiplication. Now we can use the bottom row for our multiplication. And we're going to now do bottom row times first column. So 1 times 2 is 2, plus 1 times 2 is 4. Plus 1 times, it's 4. And then we're going to do the same and look at the bottom row, last column. And that's going to give us 4. So the answer is 4, 4, 4, 4. Now I'm going to do a harder example using more random numbers. And once you've got that, you should be able to do any matrix multiplication for 2 by 2. And pretty much all matrix multiplication comes down to looking at the rows and looking at the columns and doing that step by step properly. Okay. Now we're going to use the numbers. Let's do some hard numbers. Well, not too hard. Let's do 7, 5, 4, 2, and 3, 9, 6. Now I'm just going to stop for a bit and let you think what's going to happen first. Okay, I'm giving you a couple of seconds to think. So first we look at the first row and the first column. First row, 7 and 5, times the first column, 3 and 6. 7 times 3 plus 5 times 6. And that's going to be the top left number. Top right number is going to be the same first column, the same first row, and this is now being times by second column of the second matrix. So 7 times 9 plus 5 times 1. Okay, now we move on to the second row. We have 4 and a 2. Now we're moving back to the first column of the second matrix. So 4 times 2, no, that's 1. 4 times 3 plus 2 times 6. And then now we're going to look at the bottom row and the last column. So 4 times 9 plus 2 times 1. And there we have it. Look how colourful that looks. And now we just expand that out. 21 plus 30, 12 plus 12, 63 plus 5, 36 plus 2, and that should give us the final matrix of 57, 68, 24, and 38. And there you have it. That's how you times a 2 by 2 matrix together. This method did take me a while to get my head around, as timesing matrices can be difficult. But if you just keep remembering first row times first column, then first row times second column, then second row times first column, then second row times second column. And if you just remember this and you keep applying it, then you'll be able to do it. And for extension, if you want to look at doing a 3 by 3 times a 3 by 3, let's do A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I times J, K, L, M, N, O, P, Q, and R. So we pretty much use the whole alphabet. Because there's 18 times in total. We'll do the same. I'm not going to show you the whole thing, but we'll just do first row times first column, and then we'll do the second column, and then we'll do the third column, and then we'll move on to do second row times first column, then second column, then third column. Then we're going to move on to third row times the first column, second column, third column, and there. That's how you would get your 3x3 matrix multiplication. So if I were you, I'd recommend doing some practices, some more practice of this, as it's a hard concept to get your head around. But once you put your head around it, it's actually quite simple and quite fun. So there you have it. That's how you multiply two matrices. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like it and subscribe if you'd like some more maths related content. And remember, maths is the way.